What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Los Wise Guys podcast. I am your host, Dan, aka Papa Sun Killer, accompanied by Emperor Disco. How's it going, Disco?
It's good. It's good. It's good. Like I was saying earlier before the episode, it feels like it's been a million years since I've been here.
Oh yeah,
It's good to be back, and I got Shrek Shadow with me up here too. So
I love that. I love how we always bring it up, and it's always like me and Eslam always go Batman first because that's the way our brain works, and then you say Shrek. I'm like, that's a lot more accurate. Yes, Batman
featuring
for little
Shrek
ears.
Shadow. Say
Yep.
something for a Shrek. Oh no, you're good. Oh
My
okay.
swamp. I literally can't think of a line from all of the Shrek movies. I just remember he had a
Honestly,
swamp.
I was like, who plays Shrek for a second?
Yeah, right. What's it called? So for anybody who's watching us on Twitch, which you can do, go to twitch.tv/lostwiseguys and see us talk nonsense sometimes before we start the episode and just kind of get in the swing of things, and after the episode sometimes too. But yeah, we were talking about stuff, and I was just telling Disco about how I just recently drove up from where I'm at in South Carolina up to Jersey and then back down in a couple days. And it turned into us talking about, whether or not we know what's in between states and what's where. Yeah.
It turns out I just can't even tell the North Star from the South. I'm just looking straight.
So that's the thing. I was going to say in your defense. Now, Eslam's probably going to disagree, but he's not here. It's okay. He doesn't matter right now. Where we grew up in one of the few locations, I would say, that don't care where everything else is in the country. I have this theory. If you grew up in New York or Jersey or California, you know that there's other stuff around you, but we don't really know where they are. You know a couple things. You know where, if you're in Jersey, you know where New York is, you know California, you know Jersey, and you know Texas. If I'd name one other one, I was like, hey, Disco, where is South Dakota? You know? Who knows?
It's in the middle,
Yeah.
under a Great Lake somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, found out for like a year or whatever after I'd already lived here in South Carolina for like a solid like 2.5 years. That's when I discovered Eslam. Thought I was in one of the Dakotas. I'm like, sir, that's on the West Coast. That's closer to Disco.
Damn, you said you're in a Dakota.
I remember Jack was on the podcast, and Jack's like, no, no, that's not no. And he's like, that's right, North Carolina. I'm like, you got the wrong Carolina. You had a 50-50. You always get that wrong. But yeah. Yeah, man.
I always forget which Carolina you're in too. I want to say South.
I always tell everybody, just when you think about it, think of the one that's closest to Florida. And if you think it's north, then obviously there's something wrong with your, geography, because it's the south one that's close to the south state of Florida.
Direction is relative.
Oh man, but yeah. So do a quick little intro, do our little housekeeping real quick. So as I said, this is the Los Wise Guys podcast. You can catch us bi-weekly, which means two things, which I think is stupid, just like the whole English language, where it means every other week and twice a week. But in our case, it's every other week. We do put up a new episode that, like I said, you can watch live on twitch.tv/Los Wise Guys. You could also check us out after the fact on youtube.com. Just search Los Wise Guys. If you like what you see, you could always go to our website at loswiseguys.com, which is covering my bottom chin. And not the top chin, the bottom chin. And you can
watch out for those top chins. They just sneak up on you.
Exactly. If you like us individually, you can also follow us at our social medias. There we go. We got them right there. And trust me, we totally check them all the time. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, rate, review, comment, do it all. Just do all the things that we need you to do. Rate and review our podcast, and we'll put it up on rate and review. How's that?
That would be awesome. Yeah,
I would
tell
love
us
that.
how good or how crappy we are, and we'll probably not change, but it'd be cool here.
If you say we're good, I'll put it up. If you say we're good, that's it.
These people like us.
Anybody says anything else, no. It's like, oh God, you're gonna talk about us about Bahubali. Never mind.
Oh,
but we're gonna
it was a good movie.
We're gonna get to that. It had fun moments. That's where I'm standing. It had a lot of fun moments. But
I enjoyed learning about a different culture. Like it was enjoyable to me. It was just very different.
I had a great time watching that movie. I had a wonderful time watching that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I gotta say.
I just think our American culture can't handle all that.
And the funny thing is like most American movies I'll say are bad, and it's like Bahubali. I still won't say bad. I'll say, it's like it's different because we're not used to it. I've actually seen a couple of movies from there since then, and it's like I got more used to it. So
yeah,
I think Bahubali, if I were to do a second part, I think I'd be a little bit. I might like it less, to be honest, now that I know what's coming. But
no,
anyway,
yeah, that first time you can't top it. It just
wasn't ready, wasn't expecting that. But yeah, so we Disco and I decided we're gonna kind of just talk, just hang out, have a conversation, and just talk about whatever and see where the conversation takes us. So, Disco, you were saying that you felt like we're already in August, and as of this recording, it's February 12th. So you've been having a year. You've been having a year.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
I guess I'll start. Yeah, with my year, man. It's been an okay.
You exhaled 3 times.
I don't even know how to describe it.
It's been okay. You
it's
let out
like
3 exhales.
Internally, I want to be positive. I'm like, the worst is yet to come. I don't even know. Like, I can stride through the storm. One of those stupid quotes. But so first off, my car like breaks down. And then I get it fixed, and I also have to change my registration. And to change your registration here, I don't know what it's like over there in South Dakota, where the heck you're at, but we have to get like a smog test every 2 years. And to pass the smog test, you can't have no like engine lights. And so I was just having the worst luck with this like mechanics. I went to my normal mechanic, which is usually good. He fixed my car, and then as soon as I bring it to a smog test, the lights come back on. I'm like, what the hell, dude? I'm paying good money for this shit. And then apparently he can't fix it. He's like, yo, bring it to the dealer. They have to do something with a computer. Bring it to the dealership, and they change some part, do the computer shit. And then when I go bring it into the smog, I get a light on again for something else. And I'm just like, what the hell? And that last piece is mad expensive. I got to change my catalytic converter. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I got to set aside some money for that shit. And
I have a question. How does the car run overall?
It works fine now. Yeah.
It's just one of those, it's those things where it's just like, because I remember I used to deal with that, where it's just like where I had cars, it's like, my first car ran well, and then over time, I got it when it was already old, so over time it kind of started to go. But it was one of those things where it's just like exactly that. It's just like, oh man, you can't pass your emissions test and all this stuff. It's like, oh my god, it's just like the car runs fine, everything's good, and it's just like it's this thing. And I'm not saying I did this, but theoretically, sometimes if you know a guy who does the inspections, they could do stuff for you. I don't condone it. I don't say you should do it. I don't say I've ever done it. I don't say I don't know what garage to take it to, on East Jersey Street. But that's neither here nor there. But it's no, seriously though. That's one of the reasons why I started doing the oh god, what's it called? Not when you rent a car, the leasing a car.
He rides scooters now. e-scooters exclusive.
Yeah, no, but that's why I like leasing cars, which like some people are like, oh yeah, but you're just wasting money on a car, it's not even yours. I'm like, that's an argument to be made, but at the same time, it's just like, yeah, but for 3 years, I have a brand new car. I don't have to worry about taking it to inspection. I know it's going to work fine. Usually after the 3-year mark, when cars kind of start to mess up, I could get another one, or if I want to keep it, I decide to keep it. And if you're making payments on a car anyway, I might as well make payments on a new car. I don't mind it. So
it does have its benefits. Yeah, I can see that argument.
There's good and bad. But it's like for me,
some people are gonna argue like, oh, but you get to own it, and blah blah blah.
But
you have a perfectly good point. Like if you can afford it, and you get to switch cars every
3 years, you get a new car.
Yeah, so that's pretty tight. Like
and remember, I just told you I drove to Jersey, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, what? You can't put miles on your car." First off, it's me. I do everything I can to not leave my house. And the fact that
he's like, I got 12 miles on this,
dude. You legit, they give you 10,000 miles per year, so usually you have up to 30,000 miles. The first time I leased a car and I returned it, they're just like, "Did you drive the car?" I'm like, "Wow." I was like, "You have 7,000 miles in 3 years." I put 7,000 miles on that car when they give you 30. So I was like, "Yeah, no, I don't use cars." So
he just orders everything.
Dude, I do my best not to leave my house.
It's a crazy world we live in now. It's a wonderful. We're blessed. all the shit we have with the internet and delivery services.
I've said it all the time. It's impossible for me to be bored. Everything I have is here in this one room.
I'm a huge homebody. I got my guitars, the games, puzzles, my cats, my wife. I'm like that. And if not, I'll just be imagining. I got Audible. There's like the internet is endless. But back to the beginning of my year, car problems was just the beginning. I ended up getting this like crazy like flu at the beginning of the year or two. And like normally I get a cold and it's like 2-3 days I feel better. This one knocked me out for like 7 days and like it had layers. I was like, first it was a cough, and the next thing you know, my stomach started feeling all crazy, and I started getting sniffles like 3 days in. I'm like, yo, what is happening to me? This shit had layers like an onion, like an ogre, like something.
That was going around the country. So yeah, well, I remember you getting sick, and a lot of the podcasts I listened to, the people in California, they all got sick. Yeah. I have family here in South Carolina. They were getting sick, and everybody's saying the same exact symptoms. And then it's like I had family in Jersey that was getting sick. So it was like literally the whole country got hit with something.
I got it first, so
it's one of those things. And
I got that, and I got better. After the week, is that what I got? The norovirus?
It might have been. I don't know. Also, happy birthday,
Henry. Yeah, is that? That might have been it. I don't know. It messed me up pretty damn good, but I got better. And then like 2 weeks later, my wife got it and then gave it back to me.
That's crazy. Hey, you dropped this.
It was crazy though to see like the human body though at work, because this time it was like a normal like cold, because like it only lasts like 3 days, but it was like the same symptoms.
Yeah.
But I guess like because I got it so soon, it was just like, oh, we still got those antigens, blah 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 blah.
Oh, we got some more in the back. We got this.
Oh, we already loaded. Hip shot, pow. But yeah, so I got that twice, but that's not even the end of it. Last week on Sunday, my wife's like, it's just a random thing. I want Wendy's, and so we go get biggie bags. And, I'm there, so I'm picking it up for her, blah, blah, blah. We got some Wendy's, and I see on the menu they got chili, and I was like, damn, throwback, nostalgia.
Yeah, I haven't had a Wendy's chili.
I used to get Wendy's chili all the time with, like, the cheese and the bacon, all that, like, all the good stuff on it. So, I did that.
Oh, you're too old for that.
I was living my best life. I thought I was 20-something, and, I knew it was trouble.
You shaved off about 3 years of your life, Disco.
I did. So I ate it, and I started feeling nothing happened immediately, but then I started getting like what I call rotten egg burps. It's like sulfuric like acid or some shit comes out. I don't know. I googled some shit. It's like something like that, but it tastes like rotten eggs, and it's like terrible. I got a volcano with me. It's honestly, I'm like burping, and it's like, oh god, and so I'm like, I gotta go to bed. I got work at 4 a.m. I started this new job, which I'll tell you about also after this. So I have rotten egg burps. I'm like, I gotta go to bed. I go to sleep. Boom. And then 12 a.m. I wake up, and it's funny because I have a joke with my wife. Every time we cuddle, I'm like, oh, I gotta do something, like to bother her, to bust her chops. And so she had, at this point at 12, she like tried to cuddle me, like she grabbed me, and then that's when I started feeling sick. And so I was like, I gotta go. And she thought I was joking, so she was like, shut up. Like, and so she grabbed me. I'm like, no, I gotta go. I'm like,
no, I'm dying.
Rip her arm off. I'm like, I feel it coming up my throat, like my mouth's so watery. I'm like, luckily the bathroom's right like next door to my bedroom. So I like ran in. I'm like barely making it, and I'm throwing up. It's all, and when I throw up, it's like The Exorcist. Like I hack. I'm like across the house, like a demon just being possessed. And so that ended up happening for like a solid hour where I was just throwing up, and then some diarrhea in between. It's TMI, but this is what happened to me. And and then 3 more hours of just throwing up.
Every time, so the wife is the problem.
I will say yes because she's the one that put Wendy's in my mind. She's the reason I was in that Wendy's at that point. So I'm gonna blame her. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but you're over 30. You can't be eating Wendy's chili. You know better.
Nah, you're right. I just thought I could do it. It was like right there. And so I throw up, I'm throwing up, and eventually, like, there's nothing left to throw up. I'm throwing up like acid and bile,
I
and
hate that.
blood even, and that's what got me worried.
Yeah.
So, after 4 hours of that shit, and like I finally was like feeling better because I was nauseous as fuck too, and I was like, I felt like I was dying. That first hour, I was really like, is this how I'm gonna die? Like I'm literally thinking, like I can't.
I just want to point out casually, like you're saying, like all this horrible stuff. You're like, yeah, man. So after 4 hours of this,
and like my body dry heaving for an hour, like my abs were like on fire. My body was so fatigued, and like my throat after was burnt because all the acid. And I ended up going to the hospital just to make sure I'm okay because the blood was worried me. I was like, I'm like internally bleeding, but it turned out I was okay. Just fucking terribly food poisoned by Wendy's. I'm gonna fucking sue their asses for their chili. God damn them. But yeah, so I like missed 3 days work, and it was my second week on the job. I'm just like, I swear to God, this doesn't always happen.
So I'm not always eating Wendy's chili.
And like it was crazy because when I went in, I had no voice still. Like I lost my voice for a week. Like and I was like those cigarette commercials. I'm like, I can't do this. Like, and it was just crazy. Like I'm not one to like lose my voice. I don't scream. I don't party. I'm not like I don't screamo sing or whatever. So like it was weird not having a voice. I'm like trying to talk to my wife. I'm like my voice is cracking. I'm like I feel like I'm going through puberty.
Bro, I can't tell you how many times I've lost my voice. I've lost count. I lose my voice regularly.
That doesn't happen to me really. I'm a smooth talker. I don't really like
what I mean, I don't do it just talking. It's like I have to do something, but it's like I remember I went to the Royal Rumble with Rudy and Jazz in January, last January 2024. And I feel like I partially lost my voice. And you could ask Rudy, there was no excitement. I just sat there tired. Like I don't remember shouting. I might have like gotten excited maybe once or twice. And I was just like, yeah, I just lost my voice. It's just the fact that I'm in that environment. Because I've been to wrestling shows where I have gone crazy and lost my voice. But yeah, that one I was just chill. It was like, it's not the greatest show.
Yeah, you just lost your voice sitting there.
It's because I'm there. I'm at a wrestling show. I gotta lose my voice.
That's funny. Oh, that's crazy. So yeah, it turns out I just have food poisoning and I just feel like I've been sick for fucking a month and a half and just fighting. And my wife's a teacher, so it's like I should expect to be getting sick often, but like I wasn't ready for that. That was crazy. I was like trying to roll with the punches, and on top of that, my car. I gotta go get that thing, that catalytic converter next week. Man, or coli.
That's not fun.
So yeah, man. And I started this new job. I'm a pool tech. I go to like a bunch of pools and take care of their shit. So I'm still waiting for to hear back from the union. It supposedly takes a couple months, so I'm just like,
oh, you'll get there. I mean,
you just get back to me faster.
Yeah.
So I'm here.
How's it work with the pool thing? Or do you have to like interact with people, or for the most part you just do your thing and go?
Oh, maybe like 5 to 10% of the time somebody will come out. But for the most of the part, like you're really just going into people's backyards and like testing their pools, and then you're out. You're maybe there. Well, depending on what you're doing. Like, but if I'm just taking care of like the chlorine, making sure all that stuff is like proper, then it's maybe like 5-10 minutes depending.
No, that's great.
But yeah. So, but
I've just from experience, just not even with jobs, just with life. It's just like the less human interaction, usually the smoother things go.
Oh my God, yes. In my 20s, I did a little bit of everything. Customer service is the worst. People are just so dumb. They're just like dumb, aggressive. Just some people are just like
no reason.
And just I don't know.
No. It's I mean, like you've done plenty of customer service work over the years, and it's just like it's not fun.
And the phone call stuff, like that, like that customer service was the worst in my opinion. The company that I was like calling was like, it was a catalog where you could buy items, but like at the end of the purchase, they want us to really push their like insurance, which was like a garbage insurance.
Yeah.
And that was like their main goal. And a lot of the people that were ordering for these catalogs were old people. So like, I'm like trying to hustle old people, and that just wasn't sitting right. So after like a month, I quit, and I was
because
I just walked off. I was like, "This, I can't." Like, I had this old guy yelling at me. I'm just like, my soul can't take it no more. He's like, "Just give me the damn items." And I'm like, I wish I could. Could they listen in too? And they like, you have to rebuttal 3 times.
Oh yeah, you have to try. Yeah,
no, I'm like, dude, this guy's about to fucking have an aneurysm. I'm just like.
So that's the thing. It's just like when I was doing it, I was at the point where I was like training people who were doing it. So it's just like I'm the guy who's listening in, and it's just like I hear the call, and I not for nothing, like behind the scenes, I guess for that job, it's like the person's not going to buy anything. Like that they called in because they're mad about the service, and now you're trying to like, oh, well, we can fix that, but by the way, let's sell you some more stuff from this product that you already don't enjoy. And it's like I'm listening on the call, and you have a brand new person who's still learning what to say and how to react and how to rebuttal, and they're brand new, and I'm listening in, and I have to be like, yeah, no, keep going. Like it's and it gets to the point where like sometimes I'll have to take over the call, and it's just like, great, now they're mad at me. He's like, why is this person trying to sell me stuff? Like, well, that's our job, like so it's like it is what it is, but
yeah.
So when I left that one, believe it or not, it wasn't like it was obviously because of stress, but it wasn't because at least I don't know, but I think it wasn't so much the whole selling stuff to people who don't want it. Like I get that. I was fine with that. My working security and had people physically try to assault me made me okay with that. So it's like you could say whatever you want to me on the phone. It really was stupidity that got to me. And it's just like, I don't mean to be a jerk, but it's just like when you have somebody who's just like, hey, they have all these reasons to be upset, and you give them an alternative where it's like, this actually does get you savings. And it's like, it doesn't benefit me in any way. This is just me, human to human. I'm like, hey, if you did this is actually going to help you a lot. But because of the situation, because of the circumstances, it sounds like I'm just doing this to try to get a sale. I'm like, no, it's like, there's been times where it's just like, somebody calls in and they're like, as I'm talking to them, there'll be a thing where it's like, oh yeah, they used to have our phone service, or they were thinking about getting our cell phone service. They didn't want it. They're perfectly happy paying like $300 a month for one cell phone. I'm like, that's kind of ridiculous. Like, you do know that you actually right now qualify for a sale where you have a free cell phone bill for a year and you keep the same phone, right? But like, now I'm not interested. I'm like, that's fine, and then they'll go off. And like, I don't even try to push it. I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's like, stop trying to sell me this. I was like, I'm not. I told you, here's your alternative. I don't care. Don't get it. And it's like, they just keep it. Now it turns into this whole argument. It's like, get off my phone. Get off I tried to help you out. I tried to be a nice person to help you out. I'm not dealing with this. So it's like that building up. And it's just like, just any type of human interaction. Like, I complain about ordering stuff from Instacart or DoorDash all the time. Like, not too long ago, I DoorDashed some stuff from 7-Eleven. I was like, I'm really in the mood for a hot dog. Disco, they gave me a hot dog with no bread. Like,
just a wiener.
For legit.
Just a wiener in a bag here.
Like,
this will make him happy. This is exactly what he wants.
And it's just like, it's like, hopefully they did it. Like, I hope they did it as a prank. I hope they did it to mess with me. But I have so little hope for the people that I don't think it was a prank. I think legit they felt like they did a good job.
They're like, that's what this man requested.
This man said a hot dog. He didn't say a hot dog with bread. He said a hot dog.
You gotta be more specific, man. Because,
dude, when I tell you because I live in an apartment complex, the directions I give, once I texted them to read, I'll text them to you at some point, just so you can see the level of detail I give on how to go from driving to the apartment complex to my front door. The level of detail is insane. But people just don't get it. I don't know, man. It's I don't want to be that guy. But some people just don't. My God, it hurts.
Yeah, that reminds me of my Ubering. Oh my God. I really found out about my social battery on Ubering.
Oh yeah.
That first like 3 to 6 months, I was talking to everybody. Just the friendliest mother effer you could ever freaking find. it really became like a social experiment. It's just like, how can I talk to people? Like, what can I say that will engage them? Or like, and then it's like eventually you start like looking in the mirror and you can see like little things to kind of bring up, and then like you just talk to them and make them feel good, and that puts them in a good spirit and they feel friendly with you. And then I used to get all the tips. And then I don't know, something happened, like a switch just went off, and I was just like, I'm tired of this shit.
I'm tired of talking to people.
Like just fake conversations. I don't know, something about the fakeness, I guess, just got me. I was just like, I felt like I was good at it, and I was getting like, it felt like I was conning people almost. And like, I was getting more tips, but I was just like being super friendly in a fake way though. Like maybe to them it felt genuine because they like clearly tipped me, but I don't know. I felt like I was being fake with myself. And but it's honestly a good skill to be able to be social and to talk to anybody that just steps into your car. So it's like,
I agree.
Old people, all types of races, and you know, skin colors and creeds, and
regardless of who they are. Like that's the thing with me, where it's I was good at the sales job over the phone because, and I say this all the time, the same reason why I say I'm good at interviews. I'm a pro wrestling fan, and I know how to cut a promo.
I
know how to cut a promo, like to the point, like I've been watching wrestling. Literally, my first memory involves watching wrestling. I can cut a promo. I know how to have that thing. I know how to turn myself up to 11 when necessary. Like I know what to do. Why can't we just be balls of energy? I know those people, Henry. I don't want to deal with those people. I know how to turn it on when I need to. But it's like I legit hit a point. Like if I'm ever in a situation where I'm at a party or something, it's like you said, the social battery. Whoever coined that term, it makes the most sense because it's literally I go in there with full battery, and that does go down. It literally hits a point where like anybody can tell. I shut down. I'm like, nobody speaks to me. Nobody do. I'm going to sit in this corner until it's time to leave. Everybody stop interacting.
Just too much.
Like I don't want to deal with
stimulation. I've used up all my words for the day.
For real. And it's like at the point where it's like some people are like they describe it different ways where it's just like they feel nervous or anxious. So like when that happens to me, it's anger. I don't know why. It's just pure. I'm just angry in a corner. Just I'm like a little child. It's like
why am I here?
Legit. You know, it's like we'll be in the middle of playing some type of game, like you know, like I don't know. It's like I just lose on purpose. Like I just want to go. Let's just go. I'm done with this. But
past my bedtime.
For real. But yeah, man, that's the whole being antisocial thing. But no, like I said, my beginning of my year hasn't been bad. You know, it's kind of just been chilling, watching so much wrestling. Like I already watch a lot of wrestling, but like New Japan was stepping up a little bit there. So I was like, man, I got to get back in and watching Japanese stuff a whole lot more. You're good. I'm just gonna keep on talking. But yeah, I'm over there. If you need to step away, go for it.
Bro, yeah, she's like me out.
Go for it. Yeah, I'll just fill in the void since we're live. But yeah, no, just so I've been out here watching a lot of wrestling, watching a lot of stuff. For anybody who's watching this, I do want to mention the fact that I did get to see the first episode of Raw on Netflix. I don't think we talked about that on the podcast. And overall, disappointed. Did like the fact that Hulk Hogan got booed, though. I thought that was a lot of fun. He's just trying to promote his beer. It just keeps on going and just getting booed, saying the audience is his best tag team partner while they're booing him. This goes back. We good?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know why.
There we go. Go Eagles.
Some tub water. Oh, did you watch the Super Bowl?
No, I just what the hell is this guy's name? Rudy. Rudy popped in the chat and said, "Go Eagles." Yeah, Rudy, the biggest Eagles fan in the world. I had to make sure to let him know the Eagles is in the Super Bowl this year. Guy didn't even know. Believe that? Insane.
That is funny.
I know.
Did they riot this year again?
Yeah, that's what Philadelphia fans do. They're the worst fans in the world. But if you're watching this from Philadelphia, we appreciate you.
I saw a meme that said "Win or lose, Philly's rioting." I was like, that sounds like Philly.
Here goes to Rudy, the hate I have for you. Honestly, did you see the Super Bowl? Disco?
Me?
Yeah. You didn't miss it. You didn't miss anything. I was forced to watch it.
I YouTubed the. I like, and the halftime. I like looked up the score, and and on Google, and they tell you the score and like all the information. And then I saw that the Chiefs were still 0, and I was like, "Fuck that shit! I'm not watching it."
It was such a boring game. Like Super Bowl is almost always a boring game. That's the
problem. Then I YouTubed the halftime show, and I was like, "It's okay." I like Kendrick, but
the halftime show was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed it.
I was okay on it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the game. It's because I was in Jersey. I was there, so it's like usually I'm in the living room just chilling, and then I'm in the living room, and next thing you know, my family lives there, so it's like, oh, they want to watch Super Bowl in the living room. I was like, well, I guess I got to deal with this now. So I'm in there. I'm trying to play games on my Steam Deck, and I'm just like trying to do this. My dad's yelling, pretending like he cares. Like, man, you don't care about football until the Super Bowl. All of a sudden, you pick a team, and you're a diehard fan. And every time the Eagles didn't play, let's go. I'm like, stop. Just stop. You're not
the bandwagon supporter.
Only during the Super Bowl game specifically. So he was the biggest Eagles fan during the game. I was like, all right, cool. Couldn't name anybody on the team other than like the quarterback. But yeah, man, no, I was not feeling it. What are these guys putting in the chat? Hang on. I'm seeing gifts.
I don't know.
It doesn't. No, I can't show it. Never mind. I tried, guys.
I see like a little girl.
I tried. Yeah, we can't see it. It's all good. Anybody on Twitch can see it. We can't see it from this site.
Rudy like has a blur. I don't know.
He's very upset that I said what I said about the Eagles, that he didn't know what was going on. I had to inform him about the game.
Damn. That's right.
Better luck next time, man. I mean, I know you guys won the Super Bowl. I mean, for you, better luck next time as an Eagles fan. Maybe you'll remember. But
you gotta have more faith in your team.
But yeah, no, I was bored by the game. I'm always bored by it. And my dad's like, what about the commercials? I'm like, that hasn't been a thing since like 2006. You want the commercials? Watch them on YouTube 3 days before the Super Bowl. You don't need to watch Super Bowl anymore.
I was telling my coworker that too. Like, I used to love the commercials, and then eventually just like stopped. I don't know. They used to make such good ones. Like,
yeah, they're not good.
In depth, like hilarious, or like, I don't know, just really unique commercials. Like, it was a banger. Like, you had to put something good out. Now it's just like, I don't know. Everything's just played out or cheesy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me getting old too. I don't know.
No, I don't care about it.
I'm getting jaded.
Yeah, no. This man's so upset. I love it. He's going to like
San Bernardino.
That's that. I don't even have the time to explain that joke. It's fine. He's trying to go after my love of wrestling. I don't miss WrestleMania. Now, I saw the Super Bowl. I was bored. I mean, as far as the commercials go, it's always like, you're watching the commercials. Then there's always the Budweiser commercial about the horse. The horse is always doing something every year. So we got that going on. The Eagles did win. Congratulations to the Eagles. That's their. Rudy, tell me how many Super Bowls in the chat when you get a chance. But they won another one, so congrats to them. They played a great game. Their defense was phenomenal. I thought they did a great job. Just overall, the game was very boring. I feel like that cannot be denied. It was a very boring game.
Was it a shutout, or did the Chiefs even score?
No, they ended up scoring. Yeah, they won. Yeah. They had 20 points at the end of the game. I think the Chiefs up against the Eagles like 30-something, 40-something. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was that's
embarrassing. You worked so hard to get there, and right at the last game, you're fucking bomb. Like,
last thing, I don't watch every Super Bowl, but I feel like everyone I do watch, that happens. So I'm like, I don't care all year to then watch the big game, and they're like, oh wow, this is the one. That's why I always liked wrestling. It's like the objective of wrestling is to entertain the fans. The objective of football is to win, which is great. If that's what you want to do. Wrestling, it's like, oh, I know they're at least trying to entertain me. Unlike the football players who don't care about me. So
I thought they were elite players, but apparently,
they are. They are. I'm not going to say they're not. They are. They're good at playing a child's game. But
boom, roasted.
I can't stop taking shots. I don't know why I can't. But no, man, it's it is what it is. One thing I did want to transition to, you and I are fans of, and we haven't got a chance to really talk about unless it's for content. You see any good movies?
Good movies.
Damn, yeah.
No, what? Has there been anything good out lately? I'm blanking, but I don't think
I got
so.
some stuff. I got stuff you need to think.
I saw the Wolfman, and
Which
man, the Wolfman that just came
Honora
out.
was great. I haven't seen Honora. I heard it was good.
And
The one that just came out, I haven't seen it.
the Wolfman was crazy because they did this crazy thing where, like, I mean, I think for like a werewolf movie, you need to have a cool looking werewolf, and I just didn't think the werewolf was cool. But besides that, they had a scene where like they're on a truck and like they fell off this highway, and then they fell into like trees, and the trees caught the truck, and then they have a scene where they're like jumping off the truck, they're getting off it, out of it, and then all of a sudden the truck's on the ground. While they're walking away. So I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe they didn't just, they didn't show it, that
they just forgot to put a whole scene.
But then later in the movie, they go back to the truck and it's in the tree, and I'm like, looking at my wife, like, am I an asshole here, or is that truck back in the tree? The wolf just fucking put it back in the tree. Like, what the hell's happening here? And that's one thing about the Wolfman that really bugged me.
Yeah. So is that something that you've caught often in movies or no?
What was that?
Is that something you? Here comes Henry in the chat. Spoilers, but no. Is that something you caught often in movies, like editing mishaps like that?
Yeah, I'm a diehard movie, so when I watch, I really like to look for discrepancies.
This is a perfect reference. So I don't know if you remember this. You, me, and my dad went to go see Die Hard, one of the Die Hard movies in theaters. I don't know why we had that 3-person combination, but we did.
That seems random.
The most random. You, me, and my father went to go see a Die Hard sequel. It's the one that had Justin Long dating his daughter's. It was his daughter's boyfriend. Bruce Willis's daughter's boyfriend was Justin Long in that movie. So there's one scene in particular in this specific movie that I remember something like that happening, where there's a fight scene, and Bruce Willis is fighting some guy. He throws something at him. The guy gets all wet. They cut away. They cut back. It was like water or something. They cut back, and the guy's completely dry. It was like, whatever, okay. They go, and then they fight again, and then they cut back again. The guy's wet again. And I remember turning to you and my dad, like, did you guys see that? Nobody caught it, and I thought I was insane. I went back and checked it again, and it's still there. Years ago I checked.
It was right. You're right.
I was right.
You're like, what the hell?
One. Oh, dude. That and the first Wonder Woman movie. They have one as well. There's a scene where you spoilers, where she finds out that Ares is the bad guy, and there's this thing where he's like in some type of building thing. She's on top of the roof. She jumps down, has a whole conversation where they're like blah blah blah, this that and the other, talk. They cut to something else, and then when they cut back, she jumps down from the building again and speaks to him. I was like, no, I already saw you jump down from the building. The only difference is this time she had a sword. So now I'm wondering, did Ares have a conversation with her? And she was like, Ares, hang on 1 second. I forgot my sword. I need to get up on the roof. And then she grabbed it and came back down. That's what I'm assuming happened, because she jumped down twice in 2 back-to-back scenes, and I feel like nobody caught it.
It's always fun when you catch those. Like, I imagine there's so many people that go into watching it and like making sure it's okay, and then you find that like a hacker, like that little hole, like, oh, yeah, you made a mistake. You made a mistake.
I always look for stuff like that. Here, I'm going to point this out. Over during the chat, he puts out something that I 100% condone. Always look at the directors before watching their new movie, because that's something I'm a big fan of movies, as are you, Disco. So I always like to see if there's a director I like. Everybody knows famously I'm a fan of Quentin Tarantino. So I'm out here. I want to see his movies. There's a lot of different directors. There's popular directors that I dislike. For example, Ridley Scott. I do like some of his stuff. I do, but for the most part, not my thing. Or James Cameron. I feel like has made 2 good movies his whole life, and none of them involve the Avatar. So there is that. But it's either there. But anyway, the reason I'm talking about it, have you ever heard of a found footage movie back in 2012, 2016 called Hell House?
I've heard of Hell House. There's like a bunch of Hell Houses. I have not watched Hell House though.
So I saw Hell House back in the day. I enjoyed it and completely forgot it existed. Just recently, I got Shudder, the horror app thing. So I was like, hey, let me go in there. And then I see Shudder, and I'm like, okay. I see Hell House pops up, and then I see a Hell House Part 4. I was like, wait a second, what is this? So I rewatched Hell House. I was like, okay, yes, I do remember liking this movie. It's not the greatest movie, but for found footage horror, it's fun. So I saw part 1, saw part 2 yesterday. My mom saw part 1 and 2. We're gonna probably watch 3 today or tomorrow or something. And yeah, no, it's like, I just discovered this whole thing. I was like, I'm all happy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I think I saw that on Amazon. Like they had like a trillion of them.
Yeah, I had no idea.
But one movie that came to mind now that I'm actually like thinking about what I've seen was a movie called Flow. I don't think it's really known. But my wife loved it, and I found it for her, so I'm like super happy I found it for her. It's a really interesting movie. It's by director Jens Zilba-Lotus, and it's fascinating in a way because it's based on a cat in this kind of like alternate universe where she's kind of in a forest, and then all of a sudden, there's other animals like dogs and stuff like that, and then a tsunami kind of comes and all the animals on the floor is kind of get taken away, swept away, and then but like a little group led by a capybara of all things, like it's just like a ragtag group of animals, and it's really cool because there's absolutely no words, but like you could see like based off the animation all the feeling and the kind of the little grunts, and it's multi-species on the ship or like boat trying to like survive, and because there's huge flood that nobody's
like Noah's Ark without Noah.
Yeah, and it's based on these like really interesting animals. It's based on the cat. They follow the cat, and it's just a really cool movie, and it's on Amazon. You can rent it for like a couple bucks. I highly recommend it. It's a really cool animation. Like I said, there's no words, but like you'll be at the edge of your seat the whole way through because it's like all the stuff that happens, and like I said, all the other animals, they have their own like personalities, and it's a really fun watch.
What's it called again?
Flow.
Oh, cool.
It came out October 30, 2024, and it's by Jens Zilba-Lotus.
That sounds like a nice made-up name, but yeah.
yeah. I don't know. It was just a random movie I found on her watch, but it turned out to be like such a good watch, like a hidden gem. I don't even know. I think it said it came out in France. What else have I seen?
So I just saw Gladiator 2 finally.
Oh, how was it?
It was okay. I don't know. I remember enjoying the first one a lot. Then I rewatched it a couple months ago. I was like, I do like it. I don't feel like I feel like there's no reason for me to like it as much as I did. So I was like, it's not bad. And I saw part 2, and it was like, there's like this one thing that like early on in the movie, they're kind of just like, oh, who is this person? How are they related to the first movie? I was like, oh, this is the son of somebody. And then it's just like, oh yeah, it's the son of somebody. I'm like, oh, okay. Cool. So it's, it was what it was. It was okay. Denzel Washington was interesting in the movie. It's funny because you have all these people like, it's Rome during the Colosseum era and all that. So everybody has all these like accents and stuff like that. And Denzel Washington sounds like he's from Brooklyn. So I thought that was fun.
That's perfect acting. That's just.
I mean, he's a great actor too. It's like
it's a normal Roman accent. You just.
but it's hilarious because like he's just cracking jokes at points, and it's just like it's just a man from New York, just chilling in Rome.
Hilarious.
But it was fun. For what it was. I definitely fell asleep. Had to wake up and finish the ending. But it was what it was. Haven't been yeah. So I saw those 2 movies and, kind of jump around, see some other stuff. I rewatch things here and there. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to mention some shows and actually a book series.
Go for it.
Since we're talking about kind of like entertainment.
It was usually the old York accent. Good shit. That's a good one.
That's old York. That's classic.
I love that. I'm going to put that out here. Shout out to you.
So one thing that's random and I kind of surprised that I'm enjoying is the Beast games, Mr. Beast games or some shit. It's on.
Okay, Mr. Beast stuff. Yeah.
And
some of his videos on YouTube are not bad, man. I've
never seen any of his videos, but just randomly because it's I guess on Amazon the accessibility. I've watched this and I'm like sucked in, like all the different games and just the conniving nature of all the games and the way he kind of surprises them and makes everybody kind of turn each other, and he offers crazy amounts of money, and it's like I find myself just like, oh shit, like pretty interesting stuff there.
Real quick, I've said this before on the podcast. I will say it again, Mr. Beast. You have done many challenges where you have people stay in a room for X amount of times, and you'll give them a lot of money, or you have people not interact with other people. Basically, all the things I'm good at. Give me the chance. Let me do those things. I can. It won't be entertaining because you're not going to see me stressed out. But just put me in a room. I'll be fine. I could use the money. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. That's and so it's like he just throws money. There's like 5 million cash prize. He gave like $1.8 million island to some lady that won it. It's just insane, all the stuff that goes into that.
Oh, dude, I've enjoyed a lot of his YouTube stuff. I've thought about watching that show on Amazon, but yeah,
I recommend it actually. Yeah. If you've liked his stuff, I don't know. It's just like I said, I've never actually watched any of his stuff, so I'm just like, oh, this is kind of like my introduction to like I've seen him there, like I've heard stuff, but I've never actually watched his videos personally. But so yeah, I recommend this. It's fun to watch, and just the betrayals and the all the stuff that kind of I don't want to spoil because it's it's like one person wins. So I think there's one more episode that comes out this week. So tune in for that, Mr. Beast fans.
If you get a chance, watch his Squid Game. He reenacted Squid Game like because he could afford to. So he just had a bunch of people play Squid Game for his enjoyment.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
And another show that came out on Max is called Common Side Effects. It's pretty good. It's there's only 3 episodes out, but it's pretty fun, kind of animated series. I think it's by Adult Swim. Pretty much, this guy finds a mushroom that can like cure everything, and then the government starts chasing him, and he gets this like girl involved, and she gets intertwined into this huge like conspiracy, and it's just an interesting watch so far. So those are two shows that I kind of been on. And also Invincible came back. But
yeah, I watching it, but yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, 3 episodes are out on that new season.
Hopefully they get their scheduling right.
Yeah, I know. I hope they don't do that mid-season. Like, just give me the whole damn season.
That threw me off.
That totally ruined the momentum.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they messed up by putting like new season. I was like, wait a minute, isn't it still like break? Aren't they on break? How's it new season? But then I was like, oh, wait a minute. No, they did complete last season.
That's how bad it was. Like
I was so jumbled. I really was waiting for like I forgot that it ended. But and lastly, I want to mention like a book series that I found randomly. It's called The Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. The Final Empire, I believe. Mistborn, The Final Empire.
Mm-hmm.
I found it just pretty fascinating. It's there's like 2 eras, and I finished both of them, and they're pretty cool. The premise is like there's people that have powers, and they the powers are activated by first they have to have the power. There's powered by metal, pretty much different elements of metal like steel, iron, tin. They each give a person different abilities if they can activate it. You're a Mistborn if you have all the 16 abilities, or you're a Misting if you have only 1 ability. And but it's pretty cool because like when you're a Mistborn in the first series, the first era, you follow Mistborns, and they have like almost like Magneto. They can like push and pull on metal. Like they pretty much drink a vial of like all the different metals, and they have a reserve and it stays in their stomach. And so they can use these powers like a push and pull, and they can like push off metal behind them to kind of thrust themselves into the air, and then they'll keep doing that and keep like kind of almost flying. Like
so they can kind of like control like different like magnetic fields and stuff.
Yeah. But then they can also like if they burn tin, they can heighten all their senses, and they can hear, they can see really far, like an eagle. And each metal has like a different thing. They can control your feelings, they can soothe you, like calm you down, or they can like riot you, they can incite you, enrage you, and like it's insane. Like it's just a cool kind of like way to to activate abilities. Like you need the certain metals and stuff, and like all of them. The way he kind of puts them together is really cool. And then with the way Era 1 ends is cool because it's like almost like medieval times, I would say, like if I had to compare it. And then there's kind of like Midwest times in the Era 2, where like they kind of follow these two dudes named Wax and Wayne, and they're kind of like detectives, I guess, and they get into all types of crazy adventures. And I feel like in Era 2 he definitely fine-tuned his writing, because the Wax and Wayne are just like fun characters. Wax is like this like nobleman type, smart, educated, stoic, and Wayne is like the drunken dumbass that's smart, like. And he's really good at like mimicking people. So like throw on the costume and just throw on a nice accent, or like become someone else type of thing. And at this point, they like the metals kind of evolved, and like Wayne can heal himself kind of like indefinitely. Well, not almost indefinitely, but for like a really long time, he could keep activating his powers, and he can create a time bubble that like speeds up time. Like in the bubble it speeds up, so like I guess the world around you slows down. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Just the whole world, I like that pretty much. You can make a bubble that does that.
Nice.
And it's just a really fun read. I mean, I listened to it on Audible, but I was really actually captivated by it. It's a really fun power system, and they like meet their kind of gods, and like slight spoilers, but it's a really cool just to show you the scope of it. Like they do meet like god type characters and like other planets, and it's really interesting sci-fi fantasy read. Mistborn, yeah,
not bad. Yeah, I gotta get back into reading. I mean, I was doing the Audible stuff for a while. Most of it was like, honestly, books about the video game industry. So it's just like different things like that. Yeah, it's my thing. So it's like, so learning about that stuff, which is pretty cool. It gets depressing when they just hear nothing but people getting laid off all the time. But
it has to get better soon, though.
Yeah, it's not. That's the thing. It's just significantly. It's like you think it can't get any worse, and they find a way.
Since I'm like driving all day to different pools and shit, I just listen to a podcast. I just listen to my Audible books and like podcasts. So.
Oh yeah, that's what I was doing on the drive up to Jersey. It's 11 hours. I'm just listening to podcast. So I had my fun there. But I think we're just about there.
I think that was good.
It was nice catching up, just talking. So Disco, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think all the bad juju is gone. I got it out at the beginning of the year, and the rest of the year, I'm gonna fucking hit the lotto or something. I feel good about the rest of the year. So
Mr. Beast is gonna get you and put you in a game.
So yeah, Mr. Beast is gonna give you $1 million. Daniel, I have a question. Shoot.
Go for it. While he's typing out, I'm gonna start with my final thought. So I saw the PlayStation State of Play that happened earlier today. It was not bad. It was pretty good overall. They had some things out there that stood out to me. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, I thought looked really good. Digimon is back. Henry, don't do it. Lost Soul aside, we got to see there's some DLC for Dave the Diver. A couple different things. Split Fiction came out, or they showed some more gameplay on there. A lot of different things overall. One of the things that stood out to me particular, two things I'll mention real quick. One, Saros, made by Housemarque, starring Rahul Kohli. That looks really cool. And then the other thing I want to mention is WWE 2K25. They showed off The Island, which is similar to what NBA 2K does, where they have this big area that you can have your created character. All the created characters in NBA 2K run around, play basketball games against each other, and it's basically just a cash grab for 2K to be like, hey, if you want your player to go from level 65 all the way to like 70, which is not that good, give us like $1 million, and this is where you get all that money and you waste it and do stuff. So now they're going to do that with WWE games, so that's fun. It's The Island, where they're going to monetize fun wrestling games and make us lose money. So we got that. Here we go. Daniel, I have a question. The porn star Mia Khalifa. Are you Mia Khalifa joining?
Is the
okay.
porn star Mia Khalifa joining?
That might be news to me. It is Wednesday, and I usually miss part of AEW Dynamite when we're doing the podcast. So if something happened today, that's a possibility. I don't know. I will keep you updated. Remind me and ask me again. I'll let you know. You got excited about Digimon. I told you don't do it, Henry. Remember last time that season you thought Digimon was you had a rough one. Saw my game Deliverance do well. Yeah, Deliverance did do good. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I did not expect it to do well at all. So kudos to you. Also, I saw today they showed gameplay for the Hell Is Us, the game that I counterpicked. My God, that game, if they do everything right, that could be a banger, and I could lose the entire league because of that counterpick alone. So let's see. I knew nothing about the game, and that's what happened. So we'll see. But those are my final thoughts. And with that being said, I think not the he's. Okay, with that being said, I think we will go ahead and close the show out. Once again, guys, remember you could always interact with us live, just like Henry did, just like Rudy did, just like Overdue did. And that's going to be on twitch.tv/Los Guys. Don't forget to just go ahead and bookmark that so you don't forget it. They'll let you know when we go live and everything, so you could always interact with the people. If you're not able to do it live, you could always go to youtube.com and just search Los Guys. Look for the logo with the 3 guys that are bearded, and you will get to us, and you'll be able to see all of our content, past and present. And you can comment on our stuff there, and we'll interact with you and give you thumbs up. And we do interact with you guys. It's mostly Eslam in there. I see he's usually talking to people and giving them thumbs up and heart and stuff. And I randomly go in there from time to time too. But, if you like us individually, you can always check us out on our social medias, which we always respond to and never forget that exists. So those are all the different social medias. We're on different platforms. Don't forget to always go ahead to like, subscribe, share, comment on all of our stuff. Interact with us, and we will interact with you. That's how we grow as a channel. That is how we grow with you. And, a lot of you guys that have interacted with us have been on the show, so that's never not a possibility. So that's always out there. And as always, don't forget we actually have a website, ladies and gentlemen, loswiseguys.com, where you can check out what's going on the site. A couple blogs we wrote a while ago, one of which, if you're a wrestling fan, how to respond to people saying, hey, wrestling's fake. I wrote 10 different ways on how to respond to that and make people look stupid. So check all that stuff out. Check us out in 2 weeks when we do another episode. As always, thank you and have a great 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Peace out.